To every master plan, to every winning plan, there must be a plan B, a backup plan. And indeed, Manchester United has one as we do get into this busy summer where we're expected to sign several players. The money seems to be there, but the thing is, the clubs we are trying to purchase players from are either overpricing them or the players are a little confused because the business today is a bit tight. So many options for players. In this video, we are going to look at the backup plans that Manchester United, Erik ten Hag and Ineos have put in place for the various positions for which we certainly know we've got to be bringing in players this summer. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. I do welcome you to this night shift. That's how I call it. Let's get proper into this transfer tracker today. Better let everyone you care about know that it's the tracker, and indeed we will be tracking each and every transfer concerning Manchester United until we drop. Now, that boy, should I call him a boy? He's a man. He did come on for about 6 or 8 minutes of the first Spanish game against Croatia as he came on as a substitute for Rodri. That is Zubimendi. He is a Spanish international by the names of Martin Zubimendi, who plays for Real Sociedad. He's only 25 years of age, and he's being looked at as the backup plan for Manchester United in terms of a holding midfielder. You know that with the first priority players we want in the different departments, there's a bit of headache. When you talk about Joao Neves, besides us having a lot of competition from Arsenal, from Man City, the biggest threat to actually our armaments to sign him is the president of Benfica. He seems to be a little greedy, saying they won't cut down on their valuation of the player. You either pay 120 million euros or you bounce. Now, this is the same money I think Chelsea paid for a player who me and you can easily want to forget about, who has struggled up to now to establish himself. So Man United are saying we cannot be making the same mistakes. So we might be forced, if they're insistent on trying to get that much from a 19-year-old prospect. Man United are saying we are not overpaying. We don't even have that money in any case. I think if we paid 105 million pounds for one player, we would be left with no more than 50 million probably to spend before we sell players. So indeed, Man United are looking at plan B. And now this guy, Martin Zubimendi, is emerging. He's a guy who has been on form for this entire season. No wonder he's part of the Spanish team for the Euros. He is looked at as the next Sergio Busquets or something, according to reports in Spain. That's how much good they rate him. He's a bit physical. I think I like a few things about him. I've watched a couple of his videos of him playing, and he's Spanish. He's a smart footballer, so he's definitely technical. The physique is slow, but the beauty about him is his price. He's less than I think more than less than half the price of Joao Neves. Because if Joao Neves is valued at about 105 million pounds or 120 million euros, Zubimendi is valued at 35 billion pounds plus 8 being add-ons. Now, it shows you that he's certainly a cheaper option to get. Now, he's one of those that Manchester United are being linked with as a plan B in the holding midfield department. Now, if you ask me honestly, it depends on which plans Ineos has. And of course, there are so many other players who've been linked with as Man United as holding midfielders. But now the names that are emerging now when the window is open are the names you should be considering most. By the way, Fabrizio hinted about Fofana, and he might be moving, but we'll talk about that one another time. Let's focus on the real ones. Now, the thing is for me is the holding midfield department is a bit crucial. It's extremely crucial, not even a bit. It's extremely crucial, and we all know that the best holding midfielders globally are pretty expensive. Now, a player valued at 35 to 40 in that department in this day and age in the modern game, what are the levels? Well, for a 25-year-old player, you don't think we are buying one for the future. If we are buying a 19-year-old who is not yet world class, a Joao Neves, it makes sense. He's 19. He has got 4 or 5 years to grow. 25-year-old should be near the peak of an outfield player. So Zubimendi, if he's valued at his peak age, what should be his peak age? Is valued at about 35 plus. You start getting reservations about his quality, whether he's up there with the Declan Rice and the likes. It's not by mistake that Arsenal was able to spend more than 100 million on Declan Rice. It shows you, or Chelsea spending how much they spent on Moses Caicedo. It shows you the gulf in quality. Now, do we want to go into to sign a prospect to come and be our holding midfielder when we are competing with Man City that has got Rodri, who is his senior in the Spanish national team, against Arsenal that has got Declan Rice, against a a Chelsea that has got Caicedo. Well, another person can say that Liverpool has got, the what's his name, the Argentine international McAllister, who was signed for less about 35 million pounds. Now, I honestly think for me, it's it's tricky. It shows it shows something that maybe his quality is not really up there with the rest. But again, depending on where our priorities are, I mean, we can decide what to do with him. We can decide what to do with him depending where our priorities. But I just wanted to highlight the fact that if he's priced at that value, he's probably not as world class as the holding midfielders of the teams we're trying to compete with. But he's a good, promising player, decent backup plan. Now, in the other departments, the central defense, of course, we know so many of those that we have as backup. I don't want to call Todibe a backup, but with Branthwaite failing, I think Matthews Delete is the backup plan that Ineos seem to be having with Eric Ten Hag. I think that's the one they're putting their backup plan. Lenny Yoro is looked at as a generational talent. That's how they view him. It's like an investment for the future. He's only 18, so you want to, if you have an opportunity now, sign him and keep him. That's a bit of the plan for Lenny Yoro. He's not like coming in as the marquee guy, really. In the Premier League, you don't just jump from Lille because you are starting and come straight away, fall into the central defense of Man United. It doesn't work like that. So the other backup plan is in the striking department. Remember, Joshua Zirkzee was among the first priorities. Benjamin Sesko and Joshua Zirkzee were among the first priority strikers that Man United were linked with to come in and replace Anthony Martial. Now we know that with Joshua Zirkzee, he seems to have wanted to join AC Milan. Of course, Man United will try to go into that bidding war. But in the event that that war fails, we have another guy, the Wolverhampton striker, the Brazilian Matheus Cunha, who he has got some good fits. You feel he's 25, so he certainly is a little more experienced than Rasmus Højlund. He has been in the Premier League, but his valuation for me is where I get issues. And he was asked recently about whether he will move to Man United and stuff, and he was saying you never know. He teased, I mean, as if to suggest that it's possible that the talks have been there or the inquiries have been there. The thing for me with Cunha is his valuation. I mean, 60 million pounds is what Wolves are believed to value him at, and I'm thinking, is Man United going to pay 60 million pounds for Cunha? Really? Think about it. Are we going to pay that amount of money? I feel like clubs are in the habit of trying to overhype players who are linked with Man United. If any player is somehow linked with Man United, they are going to either rush to tie him down to a new contract and give him a crazy buyout clause, or if he doesn't have a buyout clause, they will try and hike him. I feel like these clubs are forgetting that the reason why Ineos came in was to correct such things. That Man United should stop overspending on players who don't deserve the so much money we've been spending. So I feel like it will take time. Maybe these first weeks of the window, they will understand that Ineos are serious about keeping a bit of their cash to themselves and not just wasting it and dishing it around like that. But I think at the worst case might be Manchester United resorting to second and third priorities, cheap options, younger players, and we proper rebuild the squad, hoping we will be exciting and build organically. For me, that's what I'm for. I think the only one department I endorse as assigning a player of 80 million pounds plus is the holding midfield in Joao Neves, because I'm just amazed by that point, because I feel like the the performance of Kobe Maino is extremely dependent on who his partner is, who the number 6 is. For me, that's what I believe. Signing Joao Neves is more for Kobe Maino to express himself and play his best football. So if you don't have a world class number 6 or an extremely talented number 6, I think you're limiting Kobe Maino in terms of his abilities. So that's why my view would be, if we are going to spend 80 million plus on any player, it has got to be a holding midfielder who is worth it. When we get that, the others can be, if clubs are ripping us off, we can proper humbly say, let's go for the young players of 30, 25, a few of 40 million pounds, and proper rebuild the squad around those. It doesn't matter if we lack the experience to win titles. Over time it will come. We can add in the experience, let's say in the next summer, and we will grow into the titles, make it organic. Because the third bit is that many United supporters will have the expectation that because Ineos are in charge and we are going to sign all these players we want to bring in, we should be competing with Man City and Arsenal the next season. That is where we lose it. But if we are trying to have an organic comeback, for me, I don't think we need to be splashing money on so many expensive players in all departments. And I like how Ineos, I think, are cautious with the valuation of players. I think for me, that's a good start. So that's where we are. The plan Bs are several of them. They are there. There are so many. Ivan Toney could be among the plan Bs when it comes to the strikers. There are quite a number of them. But I just wanted to highlight two that I've not really dwelt on so much before. But they were mentioned before. I did not really give them a lot of attention. But Martin Zubimendi and Cunha are two guys we might want to follow up on. I just feel Zubimendi is decent. The fee is decent. But for Cunha, I think he's overrated. He's overpriced. My name is Webb. This is the United Hotspot. Like, share, and subscribe as we indeed continue following the transfer talk at Manchester United. Well, a lot is happening, but what certainly is not going to happen clearly is we are not going to be spending more than we should on players. This is the new United. Now, I want to ask you a question. Drop down in the comment section and let me know. In your view, if we don't get Joao Neves, who should we go for as a holding midfielder? Who should be the backup? Because that's a critical department. For me, our most marquee signing, most important signing for me should not even be a winger in Oliso. The biggest amount of money we should spend should be on the number 6, the replacement for Casemiro. Because we all know by now how important that position is. Who should be the backup in the event? Because I don't think we can afford £105 million if Benfica are indeed insistent on getting that from us. Now, if we don't, who should be that holding midfielder Man United should be going for? Let me know in the comment section. I'll catch you later.